Okay, we left off over here. Ration and base. Going back because we can do the Maharal. Loshen Asiyah Kos Veitzla Rakia. Second column. He says Asiyah is mentioned by the Rakia. Veitzlam Oros, and regarding the luminaries. Le'elu Yesh Guf Mazir. There's an entity that radiates. The Ikoshlem Hu Aguf. The essence is what is the physicality. It's a body that radiates. Lefi Kosav Bem Loshen V'Yas shows Zel Loshen Imar Al Guf. Yas Asiyah. This world is referred to as Olam Asiyah. It's the tangible, the physical world. So because of the creation, it's the physicality. Therefore, it's Vayas. Chedot Zachayis Sheishlam Chomer V'Tzura. There's Chomer. There's the physicality of the animal. And there's a form, and they're of equal standing. Asiyah is on the physicality. Yitzir is what? Is the development of the beauty of what it is. We find about a human being there are three. There's Brio, Yitzir, Asiyah. Right? A human being has the physicality, like the animal, the makeup. Then you have what we call the form of the person, that's Yitziro. Then you have the other aspect, which is the spirituality of the person, right? That's Brio. Brio always speaks to something with spirituality. Fikoch nem ben shloshtam, harei lucho gimel dvorm shnemorim bebrio. Perkei Avot Omer Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi kol masa bereishis bekom mosa nivru. They were created in their original status. They were created as a embryo, and they developed and evolved. They were created initially in their fully developed state. Bedaton nivru, with their full intelligence, whatever, or instinct. Everything was fully developed. But tzivyonim nivru. Tzivyonim is their form. Shnem vaychula shmai v'oretz v'chol tzvom. Al tikri tzvom el tzivyonim. Adkan. Rashi Pirish. What does it mean, tzivyonim? The bedmushe bochru lahem, meaning the form. Upirish gam came bedaitom shodilem sheivru. Tata means before they were created, he informed them that they were going to be created, and they were agreeable to it. That means all species were agreeable to be created. Pirish doch he says it's something which is difficult to accept. What you have, Hashem had to consult with the animals. The Odom, it says vayikach es Odom, right? He took man and put him in the garden. So Rashi says, what's v'yikach? Yikach means he persuaded him, because coming into existence is not a simple matter. There's bechira, there's liability. So therefore, he persuaded him to explain to him why it's in his best interest. Despite the downside, there's the upside, and you have the ability to guarantee the upside if you choose to do so. I mean, an animal, what's its value? Its value is there's no free choice for an animal. So what, Hashem had to consult with the animal to be created? Right? What did he have to consult with the stone to be created? Still, but even an angel has no bechira. An angel is an angel. It's created for a purpose. He has to consult with the angel to ask the angel if he wants to be created. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Animal, there's no divine providence. I mean, whatever providence is, because it relates to the human being. A person drives, and all of a sudden a deer goes in front of the car. Why does the deer go in front of the car? Because the deer is supposed to be killed, or the person is supposed to be in an accident? Right? Because the person is supposed to be in an accident. So instinctively, the deer goes in front of the car, for whatever reason. So the divine providence brings it there. But it's not for the deer, it's for the person. What did it say? Makes no difference. Makes no difference. It's on the species. Definitely not. What difference does it make? It's A or B or C or D, unless it's a gilgul. Unless the deer is a gilgul, makes no difference. But originally, beginning creation, no gilgulim, right? No, see, that's what the Maharal said. Rashi explains what it says. Bedata means He informed them that they were going to create it, and they agreed to be created. So Maharal says it's difficult to say what you have to consult with an animal to be created. A human being, where there is a serious consequence if he fails, he consult. Therefore, it's really consistent with Vayikach. That's why to be persuaded. Other matter be persuaded. Despite the, if you make the wrong choice, it's very serious.
It could be they had to agree not to have free will like animals.
What do you mean have free?
Wait.
A person is impoverished. He agreed to be impoverished. You're impoverished. Finished. With the animal had agreed not to have free will. What are you talking about?
Man had to agree to have free will.
No. That's not what I said. I didn't say man had to agree to free will. Because the human being, the makeup is free will, so bring him to existence, there's a serious consequence. He didn't ask the human being if he wants to have free will. A human being has free will, therefore he had to ask the human being, persuade him to come to existence.
That's an elevation. That's an elevation from the animal. Man has choice.
You're missing the point. The question is, what do you have to consult with an animal? The animal has to be agreeable, created. What is an animal? An animal is an object. No, that's instinctive. Hashem puts everything in place. It's like the sun and the moon. What Hashem had to consult with them.
But he did. He heard their conversation. The moon.
No, but that has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Okay.
Well, for instance, a sacred binder is used for rescue purposes.
Okay.
The dog is trained to do rescue
Okay.
purposes. But it wasn't created for rescue purposes.
That's part of its potential. That's part of its potential. You have a watchdog. There's certain dogs are watchdogs, and there's certain dogs which just cost their owner a lot of money.
Trained means that they have a certain...
No, that's an instinct. That's instinctive. It's like a lion. A lion, it has an ability which other animals don't have, right? Each species of dog, you have a German Shepherd, you have a Doberman Pinscher, right? You have certain dogs. Yeah, that's their instinct. Instinctively, they're killers if they're trying to kill.
They could be killer dogs, but they could be trying to be nice dogs.
I understand that, but within the context, so they're controlled. But whatever they're controlled, it's the instinct of that particular species.
If they're being trained, then there is...
A human being could be trained also, which has nothing to do with free choice. You could be trained with something that's called reflexive behavior.
It's behavior. When they train tigers, they train in segments, like one segment and it looks nice.
See, Alan never took psychiatry. That's the reason he doesn't understand this. You could train a human being to be an animal, right? Sure. Because there's an essence of its instinct, and instinctively it is what it is. You're overriding the system. The conditioning is overriding the system. It's like Rabbi Shroslant explains. Hey, this is for the Akedah, so you can tell it over at the table on Shabbos. Rabbi Shroslant says, there's a midrash. It says, "Vayashkem Ram Boker, Vayakoshes Chamoro." It's this donkey went with zeal. So he cites, there's another measure says that when Avram went to the Akedah, he was actually shedding tears. He was crying. He wanted to slaughter his son. And here he's going to do the mitzvah with zeal, and he understands its value because of his, and yet, simultaneously, he's crying. How do you reconcile the two? So he explains it with a mushroom, but a reality in life. Person has a prize student. He mentored him for years. He loves the student like he loves his own child. One of a kind. Literally loves him. And then he has his natural child, natural son, who he also loves. But he loves the student because of the specialness and what he sees, what he's developed into due to his input, to be one of a kind. And the student is so close. The student lives in his house as his own children. Middle of the night, all of a sudden he's awoken. Fire. The father, who does he run to? He runs to the son, doesn't run. Because there you need the intellect to activate the love. With the son, it's natural. Instinctively, your son is part of you. Therefore, without thinking, you go to the son, you don't go to the student. So that's what Rabbi Shaul says. There's the reality of what a person is versus his own flesh and blood. And then there's the understanding. So reality is killing his child, which is pain. That's pain. But understanding its value, that simultaneously, the two conflicting emotional things going on simultaneously. That's the way he explains it, Rabbi Shaul Salanter. Here, David. Notice that we did yesterday. You left early yesterday. Okay. That's yesterday after davening. Because they said it's called like, but in the Gemara it's Akedis Yitzchok ben Avram. What's the difference whether it's called Akedis Yitzchok or Akedis Yitzchok ben Avram? Moshe was left early. He has to get his baseball cap on by a certain hour, then he's out of here. Okay, so so what I said was the connotation of Akedis Yitzchok means Yitzchok was the object of the Akedah. Akedis Yitzchok, right? Akedis Yitzchok ben Avram, the connotation is there was the binding of Yitzchok, that we're talking about the person. By saying ben Avram, Akedis Yitzchok means it's the Akedah of Yitzchok. Who's Yitzchok? He was the object who was bound. It's Yitzchok ben Avram. That's already as an individual. So the Midrash says that because of the conversations in Yishmael and Yitzchok, that Yishmael said to Yitzchok, I am greater than you are. You also left early yesterday, no? Yeah. No, because I see he's listening so well. So that's how I know he. So I did the bris, and if you would have been 8:30, you couldn't have endured the pain. So he says, if Hashem would tell my father I should be slaughtered, I'm agreeable to be slaughtered. Because he said that, immediately Hashem says to Avram, bring your son. So who precipitated the Akedah? Yitzchok. If Yitzchok wouldn't have been agreeable to be slaughtered, the test of the Akedah would have never come about. So therefore it's Akedas Yitzchok ben Avraham. It's not only Yitzchok the object, it's Yitzchok ben Avraham. He as the individual, he also is deserving of the Akedah. Because if he wouldn't have been agreeable to be slaughtered, the Akedah couldn't have happened. Because that's the previous conversation. It says, Vayi achrei advarim eila. There's a prelude to it. It says, achrei advarim eila. Then Hashem says to Avram, so the Gemara, what happened? What it means after the words? After the dialogue between Yishmael and Yitzchak, then Hashem presents it. Only because he was agreeable, he said, I would do that. Therefore Hashem says, okay, Avram, now go do it.
But besides that, he knew what he was going, when he says that he knew that he's going to,
But Avram didn't know that Yitzchak knew. Avram did not know. Avram did not know what Yitzchak knew.
Didn't they have a whole conversation about
No, on the way. Okay.
I didn't know that